Hello everyone, how you doing today? This is Jared, and this is my room tour for 2016. Alright, so we're actually going to start off on the bed side of my bedroom. It's divided in half by the stairs because I live in the basement. Now the theme of my room is really kind of centered around what I would call bowling on a budget, where I try to have as nice of things as I can with the budget that I have. So I try to make things work, kind of set things up in a unique way in order to make things the best I possibly can while spending as little money as I can. So a lot of the stuff, I repurpose, find around the house, collect from other people, things like that. So here, basically started off, I guess, would be this little lamp. I got this lamp from my parents. I call it the Pixar lamp. I really like the way it bends. It's a kind of a Pixar-y-ish type of thing. You can move it and bend it into whatever shape you like. Not a very big detail. Next up is my phone. The phone I'm using is the HTC One M7. It's a little dated now, but it's still running great. The only complaints I would have would be the battery life and the charging port. Still running good for me. I have it there on a dock that I sit by my bed every night so I can charge it. Not showing you guys the bed because the bed's a little bit dirty. I actually have some stuff on there that I'm using for other videos right now, as you can see with my camera lens there. But here is my shelving unit. I have some decorations and stuff on here to make the bed look nicer, make the room look nicer, give it a little more flair, a little more life. On top of the shelf, I have these pictures. I'm a photographer, so I always have a lot of pictures. Some of them I print, so I printed these and put them on top of the shelf to give it a little more life, a little more depth, a little more personality about me. On the shelves, of course, there's all kinds of various things. Of course, I have cameras there, gun. It's an airsoft gun. It doesn't actually work anymore, but I use that as kind of a decoration. Of course, my Game Boy Color down there near the bottom shelf. Okay, next we're going to be moving on to the home theater section of my room. This is kind of a section centered around the couch on the right side there. That couch we got for $20, so going along with that theme of balling on a budget. Got the couch for $20, repurposed that couch, put it down in my room. It fits exactly in the spot that it's sitting perfectly. So we got that couch there, and of course we had to get a ottoman to go in front of the couch. So the ottoman opens up and has storage inside of it, so I got all kinds of stuff in there, boxes with games and everything like that. On top of the ottoman, I set the keyboard, controllers to control the computer, and mouse, Wii remotes, and of course all that stuff. And then I have the TV, of course, that's sitting on a TV stand that I made myself. Now inside of the TV stand, I have the computer. I have a video on how I made that. It's basically repurposed wood pallets. So the TV is a cheap TV that I got at Walmart. Again, balling on a budget. Got it on Black Friday for $100. It's a 32-inch TV. Nothing special, but it's just enough for me to have my little theater PC set up. Have a little extra computer space for people to use when they're over and stuff like that. Nothing special at all. Like I said, the TV is sitting on this repurposed wood pallet that I used to make a TV stand out of. It's great because you can easily manage the cables. So on top of that, I have my little Sega Genesis. Now this Sega Genesis is a remake of the classic consoles remade into a smaller body. It's not an actual Sega Genesis, it's more like an emulator. And next to that, I have my Xbox 360 adapter for the PC. And of course, behind the TV is my actual Xbox 360. I just got one of these. I'm a little behind on consoles because I mostly game on PC, but so on the ottoman, we have a few things. We have two Xbox controllers, two Sega Genesis controllers that are wireless. We have a keyboard and a mouse, a remote to control the TV, a Wii remote, and a little charging pad for the Wii remote that also doubles as a mouse pad when we're using it. Moving on to the next area, and that is the little workbench I have. It's a little toolbox. I use it as a workbench. It has all kinds of drawers and stuff where I keep various working tools and things like that, and of course I work on my little projects on top of the toolbox. This is a new addition for this year because I am starting to get into more DIY projects, and of course I'm going to be moving out in not too long, so I'm going to need to have tools when I move out because I won't have my parents to rely on for all the tools. And of course there you can actually see on top of the workbench I have a little project, so that's a little sneak peek of what's coming up. Now of course on top of the workbench also I have another box. This toolbox is actually filled with computer parts. This is pretty much any computer parts you could possibly need to work on a computer. I keep all my computer parts right here, that way if I never need to go to someone's house to work on a computer, I can just pick the box and take it with me. On top of the cabinets that are right next to the toolbox, I have, of course, a lot of computers and monitors. I have some laptops there, some monitors, and some desktops in the corner. I keep these around for when I'm working on projects. You know, I always can use an extra computer or two if you ever need to take one apart for something, have extra parts laying around. Next to that, I have my gun wall. The gun wall has been around a long time. I used to play a lot of airsoft. Still wish I could play it now, but we're all adults, so we don't really have time to play as much as we used to, but I have all my airsoft guns there, and of course some machetes and a hatchet down on the bottom there. Of course, below that I have a filing cabinet, but that's not important. What is important is the laptop section of my setup. Now, the laptop section is centered around my HP. I believe it's a 15J015T. I could be totally wrong on that, but I think that's what it is if I remember correctly. It's an i7 4700 HQ laptop. Great powerful laptop, I love it. Good battery life, all kinds of stuff like that. And of course above it I have a Samsung monitor. It's a 19-inch monitor, nothing special, but I just have an extra one laying around, so I have that hooked up there on a monitor arm that allows me to swing it out, plug it into the laptop, as well as do all kinds of other stuff with it. Next to that, we have a little decoration. We have my popcorn container, which I also have a video about. You can check that out in the description below. And I have a couple other decorations, mostly green stuff to fit the company's colors, which is green. One-up related stuff. That way, kind of goes along with the company's theme. Above that, we have my bottle, custom bottle that I made as a headphone holder. I have a video on that as well. And we have a little shelving unit along with my Polaroid camera. It has a few decorations on there. Nothing special, just a Minecraft redstone cube and some coasters, as well as some books on the top, as well as a little bit of change, just to make sure we're nice and well decorated. Next to that, we have another picture that I've taken, and of course I got photography all over the place. And the most important part of the entire setup, of course, is my little Maka from Soul Leader pop figure. I really love that thing. Below that, we have my tablet, which is the Samsung Galaxy Note 10.1. It's a 2012 model. I love this tablet. It is a little bit dated now. It's sitting on the Samsung dock, but it's a great tablet for taking notes. I use it in math a lot for taking notes at school. Above on the wall, we have some posters. These posters are actually hung from the ceiling. I can't hang things on the wall because the basement is brick, so all my posters and anything I hang on the wall is not actually hung on the wall. It's hung from the ceiling, which is why they look the way they do. Now below the desk I actually have a shelf. It's kind of a knockoff IKEA Alex set. It's really great, and on top of the shelf, below between the shelf and the desk, I have some decorations there. So you can see I got some cameras and pictures. I keep my Raspberry Pi down there. Stuff like that, just a little bit of decoration to give it a little more life, and to keep my Game Boy Advance SP down there with a game in it, just to kind of give my room a little more personality. Inside the drawers, I keep various things like there. I got my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, all my Yu-Gi-Oh decks. I have some business cards, pens, pencils, cables, anything you could possibly need on you in the general time frame of sitting near your desk. I have it in the drawer unit. That way I don't really have to get up from the desk to go fetch stuff. Moving on from there, next to the drawer unit, we have my server computer. The server computer is another computer that I've built that I also have a video on. You can check that down in the description below. It's a 12 terabyte server that I back pretty much all my files up onto. It's a network shared file storage system that I use to back up everything to. I keep all my footage on there and stuff like that. On top of that, I have a hard drive dock so I can take data off of hard drives if I need to, as well as an external 1 terabyte that I typically use for storing screen recordings, video games, and things like that. Now we're moving on to the main part of the setup, the part that everybody cares about, and that is the desk. This is my desk area. I have a chair that is completely unimportant that nobody's gonna care about. I've had it for about 20 years now. Super old chair. But the more important part would be the accessories around the desk. Now I do use my keyboard tray. Unlike a lot of people, I find it hard to live without my keyboard tray. So it gives me a comfortable area to work at. Now sitting on the keyboard tray, I have my Logitech G710 keyboard, and I use my Razer Naga Epic mouse. I use it because it's wireless, which is really beneficial when you have a desk as large as mine. I take that off the charger there and put it on top of my Razer mouse pad, and it's been a great mouse. The keyboard is great too. I just got the keyboard this year because my old keyboard was dying. Now the reason I ditched my old keyboard was because the top row of keys wasn't really working properly. So I was on the lookout for a new one, and I just needed really an excuse to buy this keyboard, which the excuse was on Black Friday. I was able to get it for 45 bucks. So I'm really happy with the keyboard so far. I'm liking it a lot, and I hope to be using it a little bit more. Moving on to my monitors are the ViewSonic 21.5-inch IPS monitors. Now these monitors are great. The only problem is they don't have any VESA mounts or anything like that, so you can't mount them on the wall. But when I got them, there weren't very many options out there, so I was kind of limited. Below the monitors, I have my Logitech 5.1 surround sound system, similar to the 223 system, but it's actually the model before that. And above the monitors, I have my Blue Snowball, which I'm recording this on right now, mounted on a microphone arm. So, yep, that's pretty much my whole room. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I tried to keep it a lot slimmer than I typically do. I usually go on for about 30 minutes, but I was hoping that maybe this year I could slim it down a little bit, make it a little more digestible for you guys. So everything from the desk there to the theater PC setup here, to my little workstation over in the corner. I hope you guys got something from this, maybe a little bit more of an idea of how you could utilize some of the low budget stuff to make your setup look a lot nicer, maybe lay out your room a little bit differently. That's what I try to do all the time. I'm just looking for different ways to lay out my room to make it more efficient and more unique to me. So I hope you guys kind of pick that up yourselves. If you want to get any of the things you saw, you can check them out in the links in the description, as well as the videos that I talked about. Those will also be in the description. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. See you next time.